Hello everyone, and welcome to day number 100 of your daily Chafetz Chaim. Today we continue with the 6th chapter of the laws of Rechilus. The Chafetz Chaim writes in halacha number 3, if a person suffers some sort of loss or damage, and he doesn't know how it happened, for example, if a person lost their job, and they don't know if it's because somebody said something about them or not, they are not allowed to suspect another Jew of having done something wrong in this regard. Now, if a person has proof and reason to believe that it was somebody, then that is another discussion which will be had later. But otherwise, a person is certainly not allowed to suspect another Jew and remove them thereby from their cheskas kashos, their status quo of being a kosher Jew who would not be suspect to doing something wrong like that. And the Chafetz Chaim also even mentions on the bottom that even if a person were to ask their boss why they were fired, and the boss would say because it's what so-and-so said about you, you would still not be allowed to believe their boss that that was the case. And about this, the Chafetz Chaim says that the verse states, "B'tzedek tishbei tamisecha," that we need to give our fellow Jews the benefit of the doubt. And the Chafetz Chaim continues, and even if a person heard that something was in fact caused by a particular person, you are still not allowed to believe it as true, although you are allowed to suspect and be concerned that something like that might have happened if it will be beneficial for you in the future, but you are certainly not allowed to believe it in any way that would cause you to do anything or act any way differently towards that individual other than protecting yourself. And even though there is a group of people who are now talking to that person and asking him how could he do such a terrible thing to cause you to lose your job, you are still not allowed to believe that it was done. And even though there is a mitzvah for a person to remove themselves from suspicion, as the pasuk says, "V'yisim nekim Hashem Yisrael," that you should be clean and innocent from Hashem and from your fellow Jew, and therefore, if someone is able to clear themselves of suspicion from his fellow Jew, you are certainly required to do so. Nevertheless, it's possible that this person remained silent in the face of this opposition because he felt that they wouldn't believe him anyway, and therefore he felt it better to simply leave it alone and let it go away. And therefore, a person is certainly not allowed to believe, even if there are others who are suspecting him and asking him why he did it, and this person is not responding, you would not be allowed to believe that he had in fact done this wrong thing. And in halacha number 4, the Chafetz Chaim says that you should know that accepting rechilos, believing it to be true, is applicable even if you heard it from multiple people, or even if there is a rumor going around the entire community that someone did something wrong. Nevertheless, you are not allowed to believe it, and even if the intention of the people who are telling it to you is a good intention, because they're helping you because they feel it will be beneficial for you in the future, nevertheless, you would still not be allowed to believe it as true, even if it is coming from multiple sources.